back. I was the featured speaker in February, so we had a great session. We talked about intro to email marketing, what email marketing is. So today is going to be a follow-up session to that, just talking about email marketing and how it connects to networking. So we're all networking, meeting people out and about, and how does email marketing, connect the dots there? So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before I do that, if you haven't had a chance to meet, my name is Vito. My company is called Whiteboard Studio. I founded that company in 2006. Wild to think we're at 18 years in business. And we're basically a boutique marketing company. So we do branding, logo, graphics, printing, banners, branded clothing, and even email marketing. And I am what we call a local expert with Constant Contact. So if you're not aware, Constant Contact is actually an email marketing software, one of the largest in the world. I think the last count was 400,000 or 500,000 active users worldwide. And I'm one of the local experts here in Canada, here in the GTA. And I was actually awarded the Partner of the Year award for all of Canada. So I've done seminars to thousands of people and helped many hundreds of people sign up and use the tool for their best practices. So for the session today, we're just going to go through three main pillars. The first is why email. Then we'll talk about 5 steps to succeed. And then ways you can get started, where to go from here. At the end of this session, we'll pass around a little bin. We'll do a draw. But if you leave your card in the bin, we'll email the slides. So if anything is a little quick, or if you have questions, I'll send the slides out afterward. So we say, why email? Why email marketing? Email marketing is one of the oldest, tried, tested, and true email initiatives ever. Constant Contact was actually started in 1995, shortly after the whole concept of email was even created. It was actually started under a different name, but the history of that company goes way back. But email works. We all check our email daily. I don't think there's anyone in here that didn't check their email today. You can see there's even some good stats. 80% of professionals say email marketing drives customer acquisition and retention. We're talking about new connections, information, retaining existing clients, educating existing clients on what else you do. These are all things that email marketing helps, but the best part is that stat right there. Statistics show for every dollar spent on email marketing, the average return is $36. So just a phenomenal return on investment. And I shared that last time as well. So keep that in mind as we go through the slides. And you can even see a quick Google search shows you that. Highest return on investment for marketing. So notice I didn't even put email in the search. I didn't skew the results by writing highest email marketing return. No, I just wrote highest return on investment, and email marketing came back. So that should be a real takeaway. And we talk about email, there's one-to-one email. That's replying to a customer, an employee message you, you're sending a proposal. That's fine and everything, but what we're really talking about is the second two, right? We're talking about like newsletter style, one-to-many, informative and educational, some articles, some information, some click to discover more, click to read more. That's what we're talking about here with the tool Constant Contact. And then we're also talking about automated and smart campaigns. So automated campaigns are things that go out timed. You plan them ahead of time. They either go out when something happens, when a date occurs, when someone clicks a link in an email, then an email goes out. That's what we call like smart. In fact, we were just talking about it on the way over here. This whole, obviously, AI, this AI world, Constant Contact has always been, leading that. We talked about, for many years, over a decade, Constant Contact always had this tool where if you click a link, then something happens, and all these things can happen. It's been there. It's always been there. You just have to discover it. So this is just some quotes about what email can do for your business. Create and increase awareness, drive revenue, and people read it. 99% of people check their email every day. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure we all check our emails today. And keep in mind that mobile devices account for 60% of opens, right? So we're like on the go, we're out and about, we're checking our email. 60% are actually on mobile devices. Email gets delivered 97% of the time. And I love social media, it's a great way to connect. That's how Javier and I connected. But organic social media without paid support actually only reaches about 5% of people, for example, that like your page. The number could be a little higher or lower depending on the platform, depending on your network and your audience. And again, if you just Google what's the organic social media reach on LinkedIn, for example, just picking LinkedIn as an example, Google put out this result, 3 to 4%. 3 to 4% of the people that follow your page, or your account, or your page, whatever you want to label it, will see your post. Unless you top it up with a paid ad, somehow boost it, or have some other support. So we talk about email being that pillar, right? When you have an email service, you have your list of different people, customers, clients, prospects. Maybe you have a general list for networking events. You have that database, and you're going to be communicating with those people on a regular basis. That's what we're doing here. So let's go through those 5 steps. You want to build your database. Tammy's really good at reminding me that when we talk about email marketing, it's like, hey, we're also talking about building a database, having a CRM, because keeping organized with all the people you meet is really important, right? And then you can see the rest is establish permission, create emails, so we're going to design email campaigns, measure the results, and then grow your list. This is just a little snapshot of what it's like to use the tool. The tool has great metrics, the number of people on your list, who's the most engaged. You can store first name, last name, email address. We let you do all that. There's a whole contacts tab. You can store different lists. You can store different categories of people. Like I said, the most classic example is you might have a list of clients. You might have a list of potential or prospect. You might have a list of general contacts. You might even stay organized and have a list of maybe past clients, people you did business with, you're no longer doing business with, but maybe there's a way to stay in touch with them. Maybe they can come back and become a client again. This is just a snapshot of what one contact in your account can look like. So you can store name, email, physical address, when you met them. You can even have custom fields. So you can actually create your own custom fields in there as well. So we also let you track what happens over time. This is an example screenshot. This is just a test page, but you can see, oh, I want to see, how has this person been engaging with my content over time? This is a history of what's been happening. Have they been opening? Have they clicked? Maybe if it says sent, it was sent, but they didn't open it. We let you see all that over time. We're building up that history with that contact. So if you want to reach out to someone, maybe you're curious, how have they been engaging with your content? We let you do that. You can also take notes. This is great for sales, right? If you maybe want to follow up with people, jump on a phone call, you can take your notes right in this tool. You can have notes however you want to write them. So, like I said, Tammy's great at reminding me that this is also a really good CRM. You can also tag contacts as well. A tag is just a descriptive piece of information on the contact. Maybe you want to tag where you met them. It's a really good example. You might want to tag what industry they're in. There's many other examples of great tags. Email becomes unsuccessful when you don't have a plan. So what I like to say is this type of email is kind of a little passé, a little too much information, it's a little too overwhelming, it's not quite as clean and easy to read, especially not on a mobile device. So that's not really what we're getting at. But let's talk about permission for a second. I'll just do a quick recap on permission, because when we talk about networking and email marketing, we really want to make sure that we have people's permission, right? We're not going to be going out and purchasing lists. That's definitely not what we're talking about. We're talking about establishing permission from people and contacts that you meet, networking, clients, trade shows, online leads, people that submit forms on your website or on social media. That's what we're talking about, right? So there's two types of permission. This is a refresher for people that know it. There's implied permission, and then there's express permission. In a really, really, really high level, implied permission is basically you're saying, well, it's kind of implied that I had permission to email this person. They're clients. They just gave me their business card. They asked me to send them information. Those are all implied permission examples, right? Express permission is a little different. Express permission is maybe where you have it documented that they signed up to your email list. Maybe pen and paper. That's an easy example of an express permission. But also, if someone goes to your website, fills out a form to be on your email list, that's express permission as well, because it's trackable. So if it's trackable, you're under the express permission category. And if it's a little bit of a, you have to kind of say, well, this person is a client, obviously, or they're a member, it's implied that I have to communicate with them. And that's implied. Both are allowable. These are both allowable ways to communicate with people. And these both count as permission. You can track this in our tool. When you add a new contact, it asks you, do you have permission? Yes. Is it implied or express? If we let you track it, it's really easy to do that. Right there, it just says, hey, I have permission, yes. Is it implied or express? We help you do all that work. Earlier I mentioned that you can have custom fields inside the tool. Why not make a custom field called permission detail? Put a little note of how you obtain their permission. Was it at a trade show? Was that a networking event? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can always keep an eye on your permission. You can see how many people are implied, how many people are expressed. You can always stay up to date with that. And we talk about permission, we talk about creating emails, because that's what this tool is at its core. You're creating email campaigns. A monthly newsletter is a classic example of that. That's a more modern style of email, by the way, when we talked about design. Clean, single column, I have one photo across, easy to read, and if that were to be viewed on a mobile device, that'd probably be quite easy to take in, right? We also have a calendar, help you plan your campaigns. So you can actually use our calendar tool to plan ahead. If it's going to be a monthly newsletter and maybe offset by 2 weeks, maybe a little supplementary email just for clients. So maybe clients get something different every 2 weeks, and then your general list gets the monthly newsletter. Great strategy. And there's many more. There's holidays and there's days you can work around. Valentine's Day, New Year's. And then when we talk about design, just keep these 7 things in mind. Call to action is a good one. Should always have a call to action. If it's book now, even just send an email and you click the button, it prepares an email. Having a call to action is critical, as well as the other 6 items. We have time, or a few more minutes? So, again, I will send these out. Things like subject line, what your image strategy is, and like I said, the call to action. These are all really important things. Okay. We make it easy. There's templates in our tool. This is a snapshot of the email editor, kind of show you how easy it is. It's literally just pick and choose what you want in your email, and that's what it looks like. You drag, drop, change the text. It's kind of like using Microsoft Word. We talk about metrics and reporting. If you're not aware, a tool, any tool, especially Constant Contact, will tell you your open rate, your click rate, who's opening, who's clicking in your email. That's the whole reason of doing this. You want to see what's happening, right? This is just a snapshot of what it looks like when you want to look at your data. See, this is what's happening. This is who's interested in my content, right? There's clicks, open rates, but it's what you do with those metrics. I think I mentioned this in February too. You really want to be aware when you have your opens, when you have people clicking in your emails, do stuff with it, right? Add them to a list called, these are my most engaged people. You can tag them. You can resend them an email. Maybe the people that open your email should get a second email because you know that they were, fairly interested in your content. Just going to go over a couple slides, but we'll send those out. Because number 5 is really important, and it's about growing your list. You always want to be growing your list. You're out, you're meeting people, you're networking, you're on social media, you're even giving out flyers. Maybe those flyers have a little sign-up link on them too. You always want to be growing your email list. It's only natural, people will change over time. You'll have some attrition. You'll have some people that are more interested and less interested over time. Always be growing your list and think about those strategies to do so. But like I said, never buy email lists. It's not something you really want to engage in. I think I have at least just a minute left, so I'll just finish up the next couple of slides. Someone asking about social media. How does this really work with social? Does it work together? Yeah. Email marketing is literally like pairing with social media. When you have an email tool like ours, if you're using the right tool, you can share that email on social media. As long as you have a sent email campaign, you can take that as a URL, share it on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on whatever social network you want, and all you have to do is say, hey, did you miss our last email? Click here to view it. Everyone on your LinkedIn, for example, can read your email campaign. So no one should be saying, well, I don't have a list, or my list is too small, I don't have enough of an audience. Every email you send, assuming it's available for everyone to read, can be shared on social media. People from social media can be reading your email campaigns. It's probably the number one thing that's missed when people start with email marketing is they just think about their own list. They don't think about how to tie it into social media. Okay. So don't just ask people to join your list, because we talked about that as well. Hey, join our email list. Give them an incentive. It could be a simple discount. It could be there's extra content, maybe an ebook. I just downloaded an ebook that I thought was very interesting, and I jumped all over it, and it was great. I actually printed the book and bound it, but it was great because it was very relevant to me. So content, ebooks, and great strategies for growing your list. So to finish up, we talk about renting versus owning. Social media is great, but when you have an audience on social media, you're kind of renting that impression, because social media can change. A social network that is popular may not be popular in time, but when you have your email list, you're in the owning category, right? You have the list, you control it. Over time, things can change on social media, but your email list is your email list. You own it, you control it, you grow it, and you continue to communicate with those people. So it all comes down to using the right tools. I'm a big believer in constant contact. There's ways that we can help. There's phone support. Where do you find phone support these days? Free phone support, toll-free phone support, local seminars, workshops, online resources, and you can even hire a local expert like myself to do additional work or services if you need help. So if you're interested, you can come by and chat. There's a free trial. You can use the tool for free for 30 days, no credit card, if you just want to check it out. If you are interested, we have a promotion, 30% off per month for the first 3 months. That's through our partner, through us. Any plan, they start at $17 a month. Very affordable, very easy to get going. If you are serious and ready to try it out, we have some extra promotions. And I'll leave it at that. I think we'll a few minutes over time, so thank you so much. We'll be here. Thank you for having me back, and this was really great to share this information with you.